Greetings ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs and I welcome you guys to another Fire Emblem character spotlights. Today we are going to be featuring someone very special. Throughout Fire Emblem history we've seen many loyal devoted knights, but one particular individual stands out from the rest. This person's dedication makes even the most diligent warrior fade in comparison. Today we are talking about probably one of the greatest knights in Fire Emblem history, Finn. We don't know exactly where Finn grew up, only that at a very young age he became the squire of Quan, Prince of Leonster, but we can assume that he was probably born somewhere in Thracia. Shortly after he was knighted, he accompanied Quan and his wife Etlin to aid Sigurd in the defense of Chalfie when it was invaded by the barbarians of Verdain. Finn fought alongside Sigurd's liberation army, helping in the invasion of Verdain and also fighting in the Battle of Agustria. While the story isn't completely set in stone, considering Finn can potentially marry many different wives in the game, it is heavily implied that Finn fell in love with the princess of Noidon, Lachesis, who would later give birth to his daughter, Nanna. Though he was fighting in Sigurd's army, he was in service to Quan, not Sigurd, and when Quan and Etlin decided to head back to Thracia to get reinforcements shortly after Sigurd's liberation army was forced to flee to Silesia, Finn also accompanied them back. In Thracia, Finn was ordered to stay at Leonster Castle and watch over the newborn son of Quan and Etlin, Prince Leif. Quan brought with him half of Leonster's Lance-Ritter to assist Sigurd in the Battle of Barhara, and Etlin foolishly decided to take their oldest daughter, Princess Altenna, with them on the journey back to Granbell, despite Quan and Finn's protests. Sometime later, Finn received the devastating news of the Yid massacre, where King Trabant of Thracia had arrived with a battalion of dragon riders and wiped out the entire Lance-Ritter, as well as Quan, Etlin, and Altenna. He also received the news that Sigurd's liberation army had been stopped in their tracks by Prince Alvis. Finn was struck by despair, but vowed to keep serving King Calf of Leonster, the father of Quan and grandfather of Leif. Sometime after, Princess Lachesis of Noidon, who somehow survived the Battle of Barhara, arrived at Leonster Castle, carrying with her a baby girl. It is not known if Lachesis told Finn about the origins of the child, but for reasons unknown to us, she left the baby girl in Finn's care. This girl's name was Nanna. Leonster was now greatly weakened, and war broke out in Thracia. The traitor Ledric, the Duke of Manster, turned on King Calf of Leonster during the Battle of the Thracian River, resulting in the king's demise. With the forces of Leonster greatly weakened and most of the royal family dead, Leonster Castle was besieged and eventually overtaken. As the castle burned behind him, Finn managed to escape in the night on horseback with Nanna and Leif. With all of his friends either dead or missing, he was all alone in his duty to protect these children. For a long time, Finn traveled through many cities in Thracia such as Ulster and Tara, constantly moving to avoid the Empire who was still searching for the lost heir of Leonster. Throughout these difficult times, he always made sure Leif and Nanna had enough food, often going hungry and not eating for days in order to feed them. At long last, Finn came to the small village of Fianna, where he finally managed to avoid the Empire's ruthless eye. For the next 12 or so years, Finn stayed in the small village, watching over Leif and Nanna as they grew up, training them both in warfare and acting as their father figure. The Empire eventually came to Fianna, however, and started searching the village and questioning the locals. It was at that moment that Leif decided to stop hiding and start fighting back, and rose to challenge the Empire's hold over Thracia. During the war, Finn discovered that the daughter of Quan and Etlin, Altenna, was still alive and in the care of King Trabant. After convincing Leif to talk to Altenna, she deserted her foster father and sided with the Liberation Army. Upon seeing her with his own eyes, Finn burst into tears and apologized that he never once thought about looking for her. Throughout the entire war, Finn stayed at Leif's side, protecting him from harm, never straying in his service to protect the Prince of Leonster. Eventually, Selyse's liberation army slew the Dark Emperor Julius and liberated Jugdral from the clutches of the Lopto Empire. After the war, Leif was crowned the King of Leonster, and Finn mysteriously disappeared for 3 years. According to rumors, he was sighted in the Yid Desert during this time, though the rumors were never confirmed. If he truly traveled to Yid, it can only be speculated that he was searching for traces of his lost love, Lachesis, but was not successful. Finn has the true appearance of a knight. He is dressed in a blue uniform with a white cape. He has blue hair and blue eyes. His build is not overly muscular, but rather athletic. He has a calm and quiet aura around him, displaying his devotion, but also his kindness. Finn may seem to have the standard personality of a devoted knight, but what separates Finn from other knights of Fire Emblem is his extreme empathy. He truly loves Leif, Nanna, and eventually Altenna as much as he had loved Quan and Ethlin before them. No other character in Fire Emblem history has displayed as much devotion and strength as Finn in his most troubled times. His dedication can only be admired as a true example of what a true knight should strive to become. As a unit, we have to talk about Finn both in Genealogy of the Holy War as well as Thracia 776, as he is present in both games. In Genealogy of the Holy War, Finn is the only character to be available in both the first and the second generation, making him extremely unique. Training him in the first 4 chapters can really ease the difficulty of the second generation, as Finn can function as a Jagan of sorts. Training him in the first generation, however, can be quite a pain, as he is locked to lances, and 2 out of the 4 chapters he's available in consists primarily of axe-wielding enemies. Still, thanks to Fire Emblem 4's convenient arena mechanics, training Finn should not take that much effort. His growths aren't spectacular, as he possesses no holy blood, but he does have a decent base speed, and thanks to his pursuit skill he can reliably double enemies. In Chapter 2, he gets a Brave Lance from a conversation with Quan that does a lot to boost his usefulness. If Finn is paired up with anyone in the first generation, this lance will be passed down to one of his children if they are capable of using it, and he will come with an Iron Lance instead, which might hamper his initial usefulness a little bit. Finn's prayer skill can avoid many potential frustrating restarts for the player, and can also be devastating in the arena if his opponents reduces him to 9 hit points or below. His promotion to Duke Knight also grants him some very strong bonuses to his stats, making him a solid unit all the way to the end of the second generation. In Thracia 776, Finn has changed to more of a Jagan-type character, where he is immensely helpful during the start of the game, but starts to fall off as the game progresses further. He has good base stats for his join time, but low growths across the board. He can still promote to Duke Knight in this game, which can help him stay relevant a little longer. However, there are so many other units in Thracia 776 who calls dibs on the precious Knight's crests, so it can be hard finding the proper time to promote him. One of Finn's greatest strengths comes in the form of his own personal weapon, the Brave Lance, which is on steroids in Thracia 776 and exclusive to him only, so it can't be traded away. In addition to its high hit and mites, it has the classic traits of doubling attacks, and also grants a ridiculous plus 10 bonus to luck, which is quite insane considering Thracia 776 caps out all stats at 20. Finn also comes with a leadership star, which boosts the hit and avoid of all player-controlled units by 3% for as long as he's present on the map. Player-controlled units with leadership stars are very scarce in this game, and this alone makes Finn a worthwhile unit to field if the player has a unit slot available. If you plan on utilizing Finn throughout the entire game, giving him some Crusader scrolls to boost his lackluster growths can be a very worthwhile investment. Scrolls to consider giving Finn would be the Hazul scroll, which gives him some much needed hit points and strength at the expense of his already high luck growth, the Baldu scroll, which just plain out increases all of his growths, or perhaps most useful, the Nova scroll, which gives him amazing strength as well as a small boost to speed at only the expense of minor penalties to magic, luck and defense. Finn's true utility, however, comes in the form of capturing enemies, a very important mechanic in Thracia 776. With the Brave Lance, and since he is on horseback, he is the only one in the group capable of reliably capturing powerful enemies for a very long time, which is necessary to obtain gear and even certain characters. Due to this, Finn is a very decent unit. He arguably has the most utility out of any characters in Thracia 776 due to his early join time. Even if you do decide to bench him early, or use him throughout the game, he is a solid choice either way. Now, that was probably one of the longest character spotlights I'll ever do. Finn sure is a complicated unit, but we love him for it. Thank you for watching this Fire Emblem character spotlights. Let me know who you want featured in the next episode by telling me in the comments section. If you would be so kind as to give this video a like, that also helps out my channel a ton, and if you hit the subscribe button, you'll be automatically notified when the next video is released. At any rate, my name's been Mangs, and I'll see you guys next time.